Yeah, so welcome everyone. It's so great to be in the company here of these men of the year. Uh, we are here to actually celebrate and actually talk about some of the insights these men have had around causing greatness.
It's kind of one of those things that I don't know that I even knew I was nominated, actually.
Create a vision and also expand the vision, because so many people have such small vision. They're capable of a lot more, and when they expand that vision and they believe that they can actually do it, it's pretty amazing what they can accomplish in a year or 90 days even.
I think in my life I had been missing my own circle. I was creating a circle for young men, and I didn't even have one for myself. And it wasn't until I came to my first meeting that I was like, this is what I've been trying to build for these young men, and I had never even seen it in action.
And so we had the conversation around like man of the year. So what is a man, right? And I was like, what makes me a man in your eyes, right? And so we had the conversation around masculinity and what masculinity means. And to me, it means protecting, providing, nurturing, bringing masculine wisdom and fortitude, decisiveness, accountability, all those pieces. And they said, this is where I gathered all of that. They're like, you carry all those values within you.
We often judge people by the outside. I mean, when I joined that men's team, that first team, there was only maybe 2 black men in that circle. I was about to leave that park. I'm telling you, I was like, what they got me up in here in this park in the middle of these trees with a fire in the middle? I am out of here. And if it wasn't for the heart of those men, it wasn't about what they looked like. It was a place of knowing that they saw me, that I was heard, that I was held in special regard. And I try and do that for young people all over the world through this movement of like, there's more to you than people can see.
I'm gonna go back to a tattoo that I have on my wrist, and Morgan can smile now because I got this from him, and it says, "What's happening to me is happening for me." And I think that sometimes just reminding others that what's happening to them is happening for them, and that if you just find God's plan and then enjoy the journey. I think just the resistance is futile.
And that sounds so pretentious. I don't know if I'm causing greatness or not, right? Like that's a very, but at least I like to believe that I believe in people. I look at people as like investments, right? Each and every single one of them is a stock, but this is like options. You could get in that beforehand and make them be successful companies. And the way you do that is remove barriers within them, and ultimately you're giving them confidence. They're like, yo, you got this, right? Here's the way that I see you have the ability to get to where you want to get to.
I mean, I certainly don't feel like that I'm in greatness, but maybe there's moments of brilliance there somewhere, and I'll keep trying.
May your journeys, may your dreams take you where you never expected to go.
Good start.
Look, there's a great book out there called "Good is the Enemy of Great," and the truth is you can't be great aiming for good. This doesn't happen. If I'm going to get up in the morning and be on purpose, my purpose isn't to be average. So to be on purpose is going to get you to greatness. You got to be on purpose, and I would challenge any man who's developing a purpose in life, aim for the stars. This should be something that you can challenge yourself for years, that you may never get there, but you're going to have a great time trying. And if that's not going to be something that's in the middle. It's going to be something that's great. So aim for a great purpose, and you'll have no problem aiming for greatness all the time. Every morning you wake up.
I'm a bad one for this because when I hear mediocrity and somebody aiming for mediocrity, I just want to vomit because it's kind of what I talk about, moving people out of, I always say the only difference between a rut and a grave is the depth. Essentially, we have three choices. Either we're going to excel and grow or stay the same, or we're gonna shrink. And there's a lot of people with the challenges in life happening right now and seeing what's happening with the economy and politics and stuff. They're saying they're throwing in the towel and they're saying, I'm okay if things get worse. I'm expecting it. So they're actually planning on going down. And there's ones that are planning on going up and growing, which is awesome because it's a scientific fact. If you're not growing, you're dying. But the thing is that throws a lot of people off is if they're planning on staying the same, it's actually impossible. You can't stay the same. Either you're growing or dying. You have the two choices. And with things getting more challenging right now, if you're trying to stay the same, are you going to be in the same place than you were last year if you just stay the same? You're automatically going to be pulled down, right? So the choice to stay the same in mediocrity is the choice to die.
I knew that I was actually asking because I care. And I think I don't know if there's a shortcut to get to trust. And so sometimes I just say, I wish you could sit in a circle with me one day and know that I'm actually really asking, that I'm really listening. And so sometimes I hurt for those men. I feel a sense of sadness for them because I know what it's like. I know what it's like to not have anybody ask you how you're doing and really mean it. I know what it's like to lie about how I'm doing because I didn't have men that I trusted. So I think for me, I have a heart for those men who are just giving you the easy answer because maybe the heartfelt answer, they feel like they would break apart. And I know that feels like to feel like you couldn't talk about it. So I was trying to think of how would I say it? Because I always try and come from a place of empathy, of knowing that I know what it's like to not have a safe place to talk about what I was really feeling. And so, I still don't have a clear answer, but I do feel that piece of the answer coming through is that I just wish that they trusted. I wish they had a circle. I wish they had a circle of men that they could depend on because it's changed my life. And so I'll stop there, but that's my heart is speaking to it right now. Yeah.
But what double clicks for me is you're saying, well, somebody's at an 8. What would you say to them? Well, what would get you to a 9? Within your ego, what do you want? Do you have the vision of the greater thing that you want for yourself? Right? And tap into that ego. Be a little bit egotistic. Like what and it sounds backwards because ego has looked at as such a frowned upon thing in our society, when in reality, it can be leveraged to our benefit. And tapping into what does 9 look like? What does 10 look like? And do you believe that you deserve it?
100% my answer today is my father. There's no doubt that I'm the man I am because of him. And like I said, I turned out pretty good. I'm still learning, but he created the drive in me, and maybe I learned some things what not to do from him. But I tell you, I learned it, and he did the best he could, and I turned out pretty damn good. So I'm very, very grateful to have had him in my life. He was definitely the teacher that I needed at the time, and the one that's had the biggest impact in me.
That's the same answer. My father resented him at the time for things. He would get me to help him fix motors or do different things and figure things out, and just leave me to it. And it pissed me off at the time, but I realized it really built up resourcefulness inside of me so that I could find answers myself. So that if I didn't have an answer or couldn't figure something out, gave me the skill and ability to do it. And when you have that, ultimately you can figure it out. So if there's anything that I want to do, I might not know how to do it now, but I know I can figure it out if somebody else has done it.
Yeah, this was a tough one. I think I'm gonna go with my grandfather. So I grew without a father. My father died before I was born. But here in Oakland, my mom's father was around. He was a pastor at our church. He was very stoic. He was a veteran from the Korean War. He didn't talk about feelings. The first time I was being bullied, and I was trying to get some tips, right? Because I know he's a tough guy. He could like hammer a nail with his fist. I don't know how he did it, but like I said, hey, Granddad, what would you do if a friend of mine at school was getting bullied and you wanted the bullying to stop? And he was like, well, son, I'll just pray for him. And I was like, no, I want some war tips. This is not going to work. These prayers are not working. And I couldn't tell him. I didn't have the heart to tell him I was being bullied. I think I was embarrassed. I know he loved me, but I couldn't tell him. So I just tried to talk around it. But he taught me how to build a fence. He taught me how to pour concrete. I love spending the night at his house, except the fact that every Saturday morning he would wake us up early. I was like trying to get away from my siblings and have a rest. And every Saturday morning I would forget that, oh, he's gonna wake me up at 7 o'clock to go cut some grass, like cold or whatever, raining, like it didn't matter. But he taught me a lot, and I'm thankful for him. He stepped up for me when my own dad wasn't there. So I miss him.
And wisdom.
I'm thankful for him. So.
But I think the person, and he is a foundational person that I stood on. But I think who really comes to mind is Krop, actually.
Olaf
Man,
Krop.
Olaf Krop. When I came in at 2020, I challenge a lot of things, and if they survive, that's the way that I respect them. And man, boy, did I challenge this cat. And he shut me down when I needed to be shut down, and he lifted me up when I needed to be lifted up. And I respect him so much. He's been able to help me identify a lot of barriers that I've been up against in a non-judgmental, loving, masculine way. And it was interesting in Legacy discussion. And every time he's tried to avoid it, and I keep calling him out on it, like, this is your legacy. This is your legacy. You can't avoid it. He's like, God damn it, And I have so much respect for him, And he's been a incredible mentor for me personally and professionally, and he believed in me when I didn't believe in myself.
Don't sell the Cadillac right away. Didn't everybody else get a Cadillac? I got a Cadillac.
Yeah, exactly. You're not done yet.
You're not
Just the
done
beginning.
yet. Yeah.
May your journeys, may your dreams take you where you never expected to go.
For me, first, identify what it means to be the man of the year, and second, identify how you can pass it forward to somebody else.
Which is exactly what we're doing here. So, man, I want to thank you for sharing your truth and your stand for others and the impact that you're making in the community, in our community, in your community. You are clearly the example of the best that Mentor, Discover, and Inspire has to offer. And I thank you for your time. And Ellis, is there more you'd like to say?
I just really appreciate you, man. I enjoy the acknowledgement and the celebration that we get to do here in our circle, because you, man, as well as the other men in our circles, bring wisdom, insight, experience, and most of all, I'm going to just say love. They bring love. So thank you for being a reflection of that. There you go.